Hello, in this session of LTE drive test, we will be discussing about various LTE drive test parameters. So whenever we are drive testing from one path to another, so we require to find out various parameters in this radio path. So what are the parameters which are required for LTE? We have number of parameters which will decide my network performance and throughput values. That means to analyze or to have a check on network performance and its throughput parameters, so we require to deal with number of parameters of LTE. So in LTE, the various parameters which will decide my good network performance are RSRP. Then we have RSRQ, RSSI, SINR. We have CQI. Then we have PCI, BLER, downlink throughput, and uplink throughput. So whenever we are driving from one area to another, so these are the parameters that we require to continuously analyze in the whole area. So RSRP is reference signal received power. This is reference signal received quality. This is reference signal, reference symbol, signal intensity. SINR is signal to interference noise ratio. CQI is channel quality index. PCI is physical cell identity. This is block error ratio. So these are the parameters that we require to monitor for LTE drive test, and these parameters are specifically for LTE, that means long-term evolution. So now we will discuss one parameter after other. So what is there and what are the values that should be in between? That means the key performance indicators of various parameters we will discuss in our class. So let's start with very first, that means RSRP, which is reference signal received power. So reference signal received power, this parameter will show me the signal strength. That means if I want to have a particular signal strength of a cell, so I need to monitor RSRP power. That means if this is the LTE cell, so it is radiating the power. Cell is radiating the power with its reference signal, as reference signals are there for power calculations and not channels. That means this cell is radiating its reference signal, and through reference signal we are getting broadcast channel. That means we are getting the coverage area because of reference signal. Now this reference signal I require to have its strength. That means how strong this reference signal is. Now if I am near to the cell, I will get a good value. And as I start moving away from the cell, my value goes on decreasing. So exactly at the cell edges, if this is the cell edge, I have very less value of RSRP. That means at this particular area, the strength of the reference signal which I am receiving, that means the coverage area or the power strength, is very less. So I'm not able to communicate with this cell and I require a handover. That means strength of the reference signal we are receiving is not that much strong to latch on this cell. So I will demand for a handover. And if any case I am not getting RSRP value or RSRP, this means that I am not getting LT coverage. That means this parameters, RFR and RSRP parameters, will tell us the absolute or strength of the signal, and this RSRP parameter is used in both idle and connected modes. If the user is sitting idle at this point, it should have a RSRP value, and when it starts moving, its RSRP value should be there so that it can match. And if RSRP value or parameter is not, then no coverage. So it should be in proper range. If we are not getting proper RSRP values near to the site, so we require to optimize the network. That's why we are not getting RSRP values. So RSRP value, okay, parameter which will decide the strength of the signal, and this is basically both working in both idle and connected mode. So basically RSRPs, the formula to calculate is RSSI minus 10 log of n multiplied by, now this n multiplied by 12. So this is the formula for RSRP calculations. Now after calculations of, we have a KPI that this RSRP should be from minus 44 to minus 140 dBm. And if we are getting values less than this, so I require to optimize the network. So this is the KPI, key performance indicator, that my RSRP value should range in between this. So whenever we are drive testing, we have a continuous log files that is showing me values. So whenever I have value, if not ranges in this, so I need to have a snapshot of this particular area. That means at this particular area, RSRP value is not good. So optimizer will go and optimize this area. Now, we have various parameters in this formula calculation. And now this one is RSSI. RSSI is also one of the parameters which is required to be measured. Then we have N and 12. So first I will tell you what is N parameter in this. So N is number of resource blocks of which we are calculating RSRP. So if I have 4 RBs, I require to measure RSRP of these 4 RBs, where N is the number of resource block and 12 are the number of subcarriers. So I have 12 subcarriers in LT. That's why I am multiplying it with 12, because I have 12 subcarriers and N will decide the number of resource blocks. So this is our first parameter, that means the very first, which is RSRP, and its value should be from minus 44 to minus 140 dBm, and it will tell us the signal strength. Now next parameter is RSRQ and reference received quality. Now, this parameter RSRQ, as the name defines that this is reference signal received quality. So it will tell me the quality of signal which I am receiving. Now, quality of the signal. So what will be the quality and how can we measure the quality of the signal? So RSRQ parameter is total RSRP divided by RSSI, then is again divided by N. That means we want to measure the quality of the signal, and this is the power which I am getting. I require to divide it with this parameter, intensity and number of resource blocks. So if I have a relation between my RSRP value is more, I can have good quality. My RSRP value is less, my quality will degrade. And is it indirect proportion? If I have less RSSI, then my RSRP quality will be more. More and less. That means RSSI is a parameter which is degrading. If it is more RSSI is degrading RSRQ. So reference signal received quality is defined as or tell us the quality of the signal I am receiving. Now this RSSI. RSSI is related to intracell power. This is related to intracell power and including, these are the major factors in this, that RSSI is basically intracell power and including interference and noise. So if I have less interference and noise, I will have good quality. If I have more interference and noise, I will have less quality. That's why these both are in indirect relationship, RSSI and RSRQ. So this will find me the quality of the signal which I am receiving, including interference and noise also. Now value of this. Now its value ranges from minus of 3 to minus of 19.5 dBm. This is the KPI of key performance values and my quality should ranges in between this. Now if more value, I have more value, that means good quality, and less value, poor quality. In any of the areas I am getting poor quality or less value of RSRQ, so we require to encircle and take the screenshot, and then optimizer will optimize that particular area and find out the problem that why we are getting this much value in that particular area. So we had discussed about RSRP and RSRP. First parameter is telling me the power and another is telling quality. So these are the factors which are responsible for good network performance. If they have good power and good quality, my network performance will be very good. So this is about two parameters. Now let's do the third parameter, and this is SINR. Third parameter SINR, which is signal to interference noise ratio. It is S upon I plus N. As signal to interference noise ratio, that means signal to interference and noise, and it is in a ratio proportion. Now what is SIN? This is average received signal power. I is average received interference, and this meant as my average received noise. That means if this is the signal part, and in this signal part I am receiving how much interference and how much noise will define my SINR parameters or values. Now as my signal transmitting, so when it start transmitting, its strength is more. And also at this particular point I have low interference, but as it starts moving, it starts fading with distance, because I have interference also and I have noise signal also areas. So my signal starts fading as it covering or as it covers the distance. So that's quantity of connections, interference, noise I am receiving, and my signal starts fading, and it is receiving some level of interference in the signal. Now at this point, what is the power of the signal and how much interference and noise I am getting? So SINR value. But as I start moving, signal power will also become less, interference become more, the quality will obviously degrade. We can give a specific value for this SINR because it totally depends upon environmental conditions. Totally depends upon the terrain conditions, number of trees, number of interference and noises we have in network. Now let's move to the next parameter of drive test, and which is RSSI. Now this is about signal intensity. I can say this is about wideband power, and including noise, it is having source power also, and it is having interference power also. That means wideband power. So I am calculating the power of the whole areas. Noise signal, this is my signal and an intent. So obviously I can have some power of this signal P1. I can have some power of this noise P2 and power of this interference. So the total power, that means the reference signal received intensity, is the summation of P1, P2 and P3. The power that I am receiving from noise, source power and interference power. So it is a calculated. That's why I written here wideband power. It is basically a wideband power. Now if I calculate RSSI, so formula is 12 multiplied by N. And then we require to multiply with RSRE. 12 is again the number of subcategories, N as the number of resource blocks, and RSRP is the power. Signal. This is of signal. Like this, I have interference also and noise also. So we are calculating the power which I am receiving from each and every noise and interference, and including self, that will give me the signal intensity. If my interference and noise is dominating my signal, so resultant will be degradation of network. So this is RSSI parameter. Now next parameter which we are going to discuss is CQI. CQI as channel quality index. So channel quality index I have values from 1 to 15. That means for channel quality index I have 15 different values, 1, 2, 3, so on up to 15. Channel quality index will tell me quality of the channel for downlink. That means this is basically to tell us quality of channel for downlink. Downlink, that is E node B is sending a channel to UE. So what is the quality of the channel which I am receiving? So it totally depends upon good radio conditions, good bandwidth, and it is there in dedicated mode only. This is in dedicated mode only. Why we have in dedicated mode only? Because only in dedicated mode I have channels from network. If I'm in idle mode, I can't receive any channel from the network. That's why channel quality index is measured in dedicated mode only, and it is totally depends upon the RF conditions or the radio conditions. So good CQI, if I am receiving more CQI or 15 CQI, that means my conditions are good and it starts ticking. So quality of the channel which I am receiving, channel quality index, good value, more parameter or more value will show me good results, and it starts decreasing as we move from 13, 15 to 1. So this is our CQI. Next parameter which we require to check during drive test is PCI. PCI is physical cell identity. In planning part, we had discussed that we require to allocate one particular PCI to each and every cell. So now this PCI is divided as PSS and C multiplied by SSS. Now PSS is primary synchronization symbol and SSS is secondary synchronization symbol. Now this PSS has values 0, 1, 2, only 3 values, and SSS has values from 0 to 167. That means SSS has total number of 168 numbers, whereas this has total 3 numbers. So what we require to check out in PCI values? So we require to check out that for two different cells, my PCI should not be same. For different cells, if my PCI is same, so my UI will become confused where to latch. So it is required that in drive testing, we require to check PCI on which we are latching. And at a time, we require to latch on only one PCI. So this is a parameter which is PCI. Next parameter which we require to check in our drive test is BLER, where BLER is block error rate. Block error rate is the total number of erroneous blocks upon total blocks transmitted. That means this block error ratio is basically to check out the number of errors or we are receiving the network. So if I have transmitted 100 blocks, error correction and detection, for the correction and detection, I am transmitting 100 blocks, but I can say 20 error blocks. So 20 multiplied by 100. So this is in percentage. I can say the 20%. I have 20% blocks if I am transmitting 100. So 20% is not a good value, and my BLER value should be less than 10%. More errors, bad performance. Less error, good performance. So we require to check out BLER parameters which I am receiving. That means how many errors block I am getting if I am transmitting some number of blocks. So this is in percentage form, and block error ratio should always be less than 10%. Now next parameters, that parameters do not have any specific values, but we require to monitor that what is downlink throughput and what is the uplink throughput we are getting in a particular areas. So that means we require to connect to the internet, we require to upload some files, and we require to calculate or have the number of uplink and downlink speed that I am receiving in an area. So these are parameters that we have discussed in our class today as RSRP, RSRQ, RSSI, SINR, CQ, PCI, DLER, and downlink and average throughput that we require to monitor on a daily basis in performing LT drug test. And if there is error in any one of the parameters, so we require to optimize that. So this is all for today. We will continue in our next class. Thank you so much.